Today, I am going to apply a slipper using Benecast Flex semi-rigid casting material. This application is suitable for offloading diabetic foot ulcers, metatarsal fractures and post-foot surgery. The materials required for a DFU slipper are 1 roll of 7.5cm Benecast Flex, 1 roll of 10cm Benecast polyester, 1 roll of Benecast Crepe bandage, 1 roll of Benecast padding, 3 pieces of Benecast stockinette, 4 pieces of Benecast hook, 2 pieces of Benecast loop, and 1 piece of fleecy web. Apply 1 layer of Benecast stockinette to the foot. As the foot is a different shape offloaded than when loaded, I'm going to create a void. I will do this by making a slab using Benecast synthetic Undercast padding. The slab will need to be a minimum of 6 layers. Tease the slab at both ends to prevent any ridges developing in the cast. Fold the slab to make 12 layers and position the slab across the apex of the toes, from metatarsal head to metatarsal head. Put the second layer of stockinette on your hand to aid with the application. Slide the stockinette onto the foot whilst holding the padding in place. Ensure the padding is positioned directly on the apex of the toes and not on the plantar aspect. Position the third layer of stockinette along the dorsum of the foot for safe removal of the cast. Trim away any excess stockinette. I am now going to use a product called fleecy web. This will enhance patient comfort and prevent any strike-through of the resin. I will apply it to the whole of the plantar area of the foot. Start by positioning across the toes, removing the protective paper during the application. Mould to the limb, ensuring you have excellent conformability with no wrinkles or ridges. Fold and pinch any excess and trim very close to the limb, ensuring it is smooth throughout. Ensure the limb is in the correct position before you start to cast. I am now going to apply examination gloves, as these are required when using a synthetic casting material to protect my skin. Start by positioning the casting material at the posterior aspect of the heel and work along the foot longitudinally, keeping the material parallel with the plantar aspect of the foot. Continue across the apex of the toes, down the foot under the heel. Continue wrapping circumferentially across the flexor surface, working towards the toes, covering the previous turn by 30 to 50%. This will provide a minimum base layer of 1, possibly 2 layers. Cut the roll at the toes and place back into the pouch. Using the Benecast polyester, remove from the pouch. This needs to fit the widest part of the foot, which is usually the metatarsal heads. Measure from the heel to the toes and then make a 4-layer slab. This is the minimum and is dependent on the patient's body size and functionality. This could be increased to 6 or more layers. Cut from the roll and trim, rounding one end. Then measure from the apex of the calcaneum to the toes. I will now trim the distal end of the slab to the shape of the foot. Position the slab of the plantar aspect of the foot and mould well. Using the remainder of the Benecast Flex from the pouch, I will start to bandage at the proximal aspect of the calcaneum. I will work proximal up the foot to the tendon Achilles, then work diagonal across the dorsum of the foot from where I originally started. Then continue wrapping, working towards the toes. Now fold the casting material back on itself, capturing the whole of the toes. Cut off the material. Apply 4 pieces of adhesive hook and secure with a wet elasticated bandage. Then continue to wrap the bandage and cover the whole of the cast evenly. The bandage will hydrate the casting material, therefore activating the exothermic reaction. It will mould it to the contours of the limb and laminate the layers to make the cast strong. To flatten the plantar aspect of the cast, stand the patient. Ensure the opposing foot is flat on the floor. During the moulding, I need to ensure the toes are in extension. I will mould under both malleoli and around the tendon Achilles, at the back of the heel. This will ensure the cast holds onto the foot securely during mobilization. The patient will need to stand for approximately 30 seconds to 1 minute. During this process, the patient should be stood upright, not trying to look at what I'm doing on the floor. Position the patient back on the bed. I will now remove the wet bandage. Using a pencil, I will mark the cast along the dorsum of the foot, around the toes, under the malleoli, and around the posterior aspect of the heel. Using surgical wire cutters, I will now remove the cast cutting along the dorsum of the foot, ensuring the blade is parallel to the limb, cutting through the third piece of stockinette and the Benecast flex. The second piece of stockinette should be providing protection to the limb during this process. Remove the cast from the limb. Cut following the template previously marked, starting at the base of the toes and continue across the apex. Trim around the ankle, ensuring it is below the malleoli and flared higher posteriorly on the Achilles tendon. Cut a 3 mm strip from the dorsum of the slipper to ensure compression of the soft tissues of the foot. Ensure all edges of the slipper are rounded. Edge the slipper with adhesive fleecy tape. Complete the treatment with Benecast post-op shoe.
Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube to see all our latest products, videos and competitions. If you require more information on our products and training, please visit our website benecaremedical.com.